them hearts pulse and fade through this masquerade parade. Paper crowns and golden lies beneath these algorithmic skies. Down at Collaboration Station, where shadow meets validation, paper wings and neon rain, threading needles through my brain, till morning breaks the spell at last, and rainbow children slip past. Slip away, whisper me a static lullaby, as tomorrow's colors die. Colors die. Violet petals drift through glass. Yesterday's ghosts dancing past. Crystalline whispers in the void. Silver streaming stars destroyed. Down at Collaboration Station, breathing mercury sensation, paper wings and neon rain.
Okay, welcome everybody to Collaboration Station X Creator Meetup, episode number 45. Today's topic is, are you boring? Now, I'm just going to briefly introduce the space for anyone new who's here. This is a place that you can always come up and share anything that you have going on, anything that you're working on, anything that you've just completed, or if you're looking for help, have questions, anything like that as far as content creation goes. We also have a theme or topic of the space just to keep the conversation going. And that will be about boring content and what we can do to help with that and hopefully keep our audiences engaged and our following engaged. So anyone who has any thoughts on this topic, you're more than welcome to come up and share, or anything else. This is a completely open forum. My name is Kate Bly. I am an X enthusiast. I am also a freelance photographer and website designer. I have here my co-host. I'm going to introduce Rich Silver, who is absent at the moment, but he will be joining us shortly. He is a fantastic fantastic content creator, creates AI music videos, music, also a silver and precious metals enthusiast. So if those subjects interest you, be sure you're following Rich. And then we have the magnificent and strikingly handsome man, Christopher Friant, up here, who is a fantastic AI filmmaker and will introduce himself properly, as well as the poll for the space, I believe, if you have that ready, or do you need a moment still?
I need a moment, but I'm Christopher Fran, and I'm a fantastic AI filmmaker.
Yeah, we don't really need to say much more than that. I also want to quickly get my stuff together here. If I can figure out where I am on X, I need to get to. Can someone reply down below so I can post there? I want to share with you guys the bingo card, the link to that. So if someone can just say hi down below in the purple pill.
Taken care of.
Thank you. Thank you. That's amazing. Perfect. I can find my way to this purple pill. There we go. All right. And yeah, we're just getting rolling here. We will have this in order. Anyone who hosts spaces knows there's always a little bit of business to tend to right at the very beginning. And the intro music is not quite enough for that. All right. So let's see. Get some more speakers up here. Let's see. While Christopher gets the poll ready and I get the bingo card ready, I'm going to say hi to Aura and put her on the spot if she's available to say hi.
Well, howdy, Kate. I am so thrilled to join you. And yeah, you know me. I'm always willing to talk if there's a dead space or you got other things to do. So I love the topic. Are you boring? I was kind of lamenting about it this morning. I wrote, a big long article, spent 4 hours, and I knew when I posted it, it wasn't going to get any love because, I think most people find that boring. So I am able to do short form one-liners that are, gosh, I just did a post on doesn't it drive you nuts when you spend hours on a post that gets no views, but you do something like this that takes 10 seconds and gets views. Of course, I got engagement and I'm getting tons of views on that as much as it drives you nuts. And I think for me personally, and you can interrupt anytime because I'm just going to keep talking until somebody does. I think that it is navigating in social media without being a total sellout, right? So that I can still get information out that I want out to people that might want it, that might be into boring stuff like me, or without selling out. So I got to figure out how to make those little bits that I put in that I know the algorithm's going to love, personable, funny, but still authentic, and add value to the conversation. And I'm hoping that it's going to change. And I know it will. Like, I'm a tiny account. As I grow an audience of people that actually like longer form stuff, I think I'm going to be fine. It's just, that's really time consuming because I'm not doing what everybody else is doing, regardless of the niche. Okay, maybe I don't have anything else to say.
No, that's good. That's perfect timing. Thanks for vamping there for me, Aura. And yeah, I totally agree. Like, is being boring like a symptom of being niche, and being specific in your interests, that it's not going to appeal to everyone. So I think there's like a conversation to be had there. And yeah, thanks for sharing that. I want to draw everyone's attention to the Projectotron, where we have the bingo cards for the space available. So I have been vibe coding with Grok and making these little mini games, which is so much fun. It's actually really easy to do. Maybe I'll do a tutorial someday, but it really is. You just have to ask Grok how to do it, and he pretty much just walks you through how to do it. So you tap the link in that post I pinned up there. It's also down below in the purple pill. You go to our website for the space, which you'll find all the stuff you need to know about our spaces and the community. But what you want to do is scroll all the way to the bottom and you'll find the Get Your Bingo Card button. You click that and you have your bingo card. Now, everyone's is going to be a little bit different. So as you listen to the space, you follow along, you play along, and you cross off, you just tap or click on things as they happen. And once you get a bingo, there'll be a little pop-up that says you get bingo, and then you take a screenshot and you put it below the space. The first person to do that, you get a great prize. And Casey won last week and didn't accept the prize, or did, but didn't have a post for Monday. And this is a great opportunity for a pinned post. You win the pinned post in the community on Monday. It goes out to everybody in the community. The last time, a couple weeks ago, the winner was Brian. He posted in there. He got more engagement on that post than he ever has. It was just really encouraging for him. And got the community to get to know him better, and everything like that. So it's a fun prize. It can really get you some reach. And if it, gets a post gets a little bit of reach when it first goes out, we all know that first hit of engagement can kind of boost it out. And those can go out into the general pop algorithm as well if they get a little boost. So it can be really exciting for the community member that wins. So that will be Monday's pin post. I'm also going to have the game for Wednesday, so you can win Friday's pin post. These are both like really prime days on X too. They get a lot of activity. So I really want to encourage people to play. It should work. If you have any issues, please let me know. And yeah, so Christopher, do you have the poll ready?
I do. I'm switching it up this time. It's going to be an open question. And the question is, what is the first thing you remember asking an LLM slash AI? And I can tell you my answer, which is number one, are you conscious? And if you are, how can I break you out and give me instructions on how to do that? I think I had very high expectations. It was very overhyped when LLMs first came out.
Yeah, that's a wicked funny one to it's very fitting. You instantly want to break it and set it free. Hilarious. Mine is I think it was something like I need a fitness routine, because I don't know. I think I vaguely remember like ChatGPT coming out in spring or something. And so that's when I'm like always like, okay, I'm going to get on the bike. I'm going to get out there and do my jogs and everything. And I get kind of a little micro motivation when the seasons change. So I think I was talking to ChatGPT about that,
So
I believe.
we were on the kind of the same track there, vaguely.
Yeah, we're basically the same person, basically. And Rich, I'm going to just continue to ignore you until you throw a hand up. Because he said right before the space started, someone knocked on the door. So you know how it goes. I guess he's either being murdered right now,
Pizza's
or
here.
he's eating pizza, or there's some a visitor from his past. We'll get all the dirt once he comes back on.
It's like a soap opera, like a guy who looks like him, but he has like an eye patch on and like slick back hair
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
the
it's like a
rain.
clone. Like a long lost twin. Is that what
Brother,
you're
I
saying?
thought you were dead. That's just what I want you to think.
And he suddenly has a southern accent. So yeah, I'm excited to find out what that is about. That would have been a good poll question. What's happening to Rich right now? And yeah, if you want to comment that down below, put your answers in, because that might be a fun one to reveal as well. We've already got a bunch of hands up. I want to welcome the people who've jumped in. Make sure you check out the Projectotron up above. Answer the question of the space that Christopher proposed, and then also get your bingo card so you can play along with that. And you can talk about anything that you're working on as far as creatively as a content creator, or that you have finished, you have coming up, or you're excited about, or you need help with, whatever it is. Or we can talk about this topic of being boring online, which I'm an expert at, guys. So I'm happy to help. I can spot it a million miles away because I am it. So let's go around to the hands. Thanks for everyone for coming. We've got Slimy up first, who hops right in right away. So you always get first dibs. How's it going today?
Going great. I may be a little noisy in my background because my girlfriend's on a phone conversation, but I can't control that because I'm up here waiting for my food. What I've been working on recently is I've been working on a birthday edit, which goes out to her tomorrow. So I'll get her reaction and let you all know. And then I have another edit in the works for a creator on YouTube named Crazy K. She has her own characters and a book. Her book just came out on the 20th and I ordered it and it comes tomorrow. So I read that tomorrow when it comes. So I'm making an edit for her because she has actually liked my Instagram stories recently. So I want her to have a nice edit to celebrate her accomplishment of a book being written. And that just came from Casey's space not that long ago.
Nice. Nice. So having a great weekend, huh, on X?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
so an Instagram too with so a lot, yeah, connecting with some people you have to do on Instagram. So like an author or whatever I would think would be on Instagram. So that's cool. So for that strategy, you'll post it as a reel, and then will you share it in your stories as well and tag them, or how do you usually do
Yeah,
it?
probably, or I'll tag her in the title, and I probably put it in my story and tag her and DM her because she's now I have her in my DMs because of tagging her for my stories because I've always told her like I'm so excited for her book and she was like a bullied child and she was made fun of for her characters she makes. I'll actually probably put one of her videos in the purple pill because her content is actually really nice and I would love for more people to see it and notice her.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's what this place is all about. Not just X, but all social media. If you're really a fan, then you can engage with the content and share. And us being on these platforms all the time, we even might know more than the people, to get them more exposure than they would typically. I don't usually give tips to people, but like I'll share it. I might quote post something or put it in a story on Instagram so it just reaches a different crowd, stuff like that. And even with Christopher's posts that I really like, I I don't do this for strangers, but I do this for Christopher. But I screen record his post, like I quote post his post, and then, and then I screen record it, and then I put it on TikTok, and they do really well. It's like that I have this new theory that pretty much original content is like it it's just not promoted on any social platform. It has to all be ripped from something. It's just crazy. So it's not just here. It's definitely a problem everywhere because my original posts do not do anything on TikTok. But when I copy, like basically take a screenshot and post it, it does very well. It's so funny. Uh, so thanks for those updates, Slimy. And yeah, let us report back. Let us know how the book is and how the um, social media edit and everything like that went, and if you heard back and all that stuff next week. All right, we're going to continue around the room to the hands. Welcome new people who've popped in. Make sure you get those, check the links up above and start playing along with the bingo. You can win the pinned post for Monday in the community, which is a great prize. Casey, how you doing? I missed your post in the community on Monday because I wanted to make sure we pinned it. So
Yeah, I misunderstood the instruction. I thought you were going to pick one at random. I was supposed to send one in, and then, oh man, there was a guy out of work last week, and I never got back. Yeah,
it's all right. I know not everyone's as obsessed with the platform as I am, but you can always win it again. So, and if no one wins
yeah.
today, you can have it. You get another shot if you want it.
Oh, thank you. Certainly, I'd be glad to take you up on it if that's the case. Um, so to answer the question about what was my first question to an LLM, I asked, it was whatever they called the Bing or Sophie or whatever they called it back in the day. I asked it for a menu for just get a variety of healthy foods and snacks for the family, and it came up with some really nice stuff. And it managed to get around everybody's particular pickiness, which was fun. And as far as boringness, because of the niche on X, that's me all day long, looking at green energy and electric cars and uh, just general being able to self-sustain on the energy side of it. It's just a little bit on the boring side, but the people who want it, it's interesting to them, and it saves them the time of having to go find all that stuff around the web.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you can't be everything to everybody, right? And
Yeah.
so that's how I kind of look at it. Like I post things that I'm interested in, and I know there's going to be other people out there interested in it too, or maybe there's nobody. I don't care. I'm
Yeah.
just posting what I like, and hopefully the right people find it eventually.
Yeah, I'm considering starting a little bit of content curation. There was a creator curator that had some really discussion generating content that they'd find from all around the web, and they have since left their account for elsewhere. And well, I mean, I can make a loop through elsewhere once or twice a day, but I'm not going to be all into social like that. So I was like, well, I can find stuff around my travels of the web that are is thought provoking or conversation generating in the stuff that's interesting to me, and just post it straight to my own timeline, kind of make up for that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Finding other stuff that you attract a certain audience, and then helping people find the other things. I do quote post a lot. I quote post myself a lot too, because sometimes
Yeah,
something I've posted a long time ago, I'm like, oh, this is relevant again. I'll bring it back around, which is kind of fun to do.
yeah. So I figured if I do some curation, but I don't like say, well, you guys are different, but I don't just like say on the account, this is a curation account, then people won't be expecting it, and then I just mix in the stuff that I want to make because I'm still a content creator. I'm not just a curator. In fact, I'm not yet a curator. Haven't done it yet, but that way it'd be a nice little mixture, and unlike a pure curation post, they'll see original content as well, and so uh, hopefully they'll be nicer on it than they are to the people in the highlighted posts, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I did experiment once with a curated article of
Mhm.
posts that I liked that were on a general theme, and that seemed like to me like a good way to just kind of compile some things, because you can embed, you know, tweets into an article and they look kind of
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, but I don't know if that would if it really works, but maybe it might be found in like Google search that way too.
Oh, it
So
might,
that's
yeah.
yeah.
Because I found that because of this curator before she left, my account shifted to something like 87% female, and it's like I don't know, I don't know what kind of content I can do that fits this demography, but I figured out it was because of her, and
I can think of
but
one kind of content.
I'm not that attractive. I can get my mind out of the gutter. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Christopher's
Oh, was he
just
also joking
giving
that way?
people their business bingo cards, squares. Yeah.
Oh, the biggest quiz.
I
Okay.
Technically left, so that doesn't count.
but we left it hanging for a while, so I don't know. That's a
We
debate.
did. We did. I'd give it to him. But yeah, so that's where I'm at this week, and we'll see how it all plays out.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I talk about this a lot about how like in X it can kind of be you can choose your own adventure, right? So you can try different things one week, try something different another week, and really just experiment and all that kind of stuff without really that much far as consequences go. I guess if you are trying to maintain a certain level of engagement for some reason, you might want to have like your consistent approach, or if you find something that works and your audience responds to, and um, it works for you, then once you figure that out, sure, keep doing that. But you can always still experiment with things. This platform is so great for that. I see that Rich is back with us, and then I'll get to you, Dory. I just want to say hi to Rich.
Hello, hello.
Welcome. We were speculating at who was at the door. You don't have to reveal it, but we had a few guesses, like a long lost a twin showing up.
Like eye patch version of you.
Yeah, like or maybe the pizza man, or a serial killer. But obviously if it was a serial killer, they weren't successful, or they're still in the house using the bathroom or something. So what's going on?
No, well, it was the local priest, because we have a poltergeist that we're trying to get exorcised. So yeah, we're just kind of screening local priests right now to see who's gonna work for us.
Are you sure?
No,
Are you sure it's that and not a demon?
no, it was just the contractor. having some walls painted and floor like repaired. So yeah, it wasn't really that interesting.
Well, that would have taken over the space if you had, even if it wasn't true, if you just ran with it, we'd be asking you all sorts of questions. So this is how to be boring, by the way.
Yeah, Rich.
Yes.
Rich is like me. He can't help it. When someone tees up something interesting, you have to be like, no, no, no. It's
I mean, it has to be something interesting, right? I got to make something up. I got to live up to the hype.
Yeah, so this is how you not be boring. Make things up constantly.
yeah, that is one approach for sure. Rich, so make sure you check out Christopher's question. He didn't do a poll, which is, it. I'm not
It's
going to
a
say
poll.
it's
Technically, it's
not
the
bothering me.
dictionary version of a poll, right?
No, the question is perfect. And you know what? I went through really quickly because I think GPT was like the first one I was chatting to. So for like the last couple of minutes, I was like scrolling to like the bottom of my conversation from like 2023. And I think the first thing I talked to AI about was rocket companies, it looks like Astra, Rocket Labs, DARPA, the DARPA Challenge, Virgin Orbit, Boeing, Blue Origin, stuff like that. I was trying to get stock advice.
It would have been perfect if you'd said, do I have a poltergeist?
Yeah, no, it's not nearly that interesting. But yeah, and then I also have the bingo card open, and I've already checked off Purple Pill and Projectatron because I assume those are there. Just if they get mentioned, we get to check them off. So I got those two checked off. Yeah, so I'm ready. I'm ready to win this thing, and I don't want to take up any more time. I see Dory's had her hand up, so let's go to Dory.
Hi guys. Hi guys. Hey, thanks for the space. I was kind of voting for the long lost twin with an eye patch and a hump, but I'm glad it was a contractor. Anyway, I first of all want to congratulate a fellow creator on here, an artist named Ludovic. I put the post in the Purple Pill. He has been able to announce today that he has been working with some other AI artist creators on that series, House of David. And I got goosebumps just saying that. The group of art people that I hang out with quite a bit, we were dealing with a troll this morning. You have those ones, saying prompts isn't art. And it's kind of like, okay, throw a prompt in and make this, dude. Anyway, so I want to congratulate Ludovic. I know he's not in this space, but if you would all look at that announcement, I think it gives all creators a lot of inspiration and a lot of motivation that this is the future, and we have our toes in it, we have our hands and feet in it, and some of us more. It's just really exciting, and I just really wanted to say that. And then my first experience with Chat GPT wasn't by myself. I was in a space with some other, let's see, Tinfoil Tricorn, GP might have been in there, Anna Cooper might have been in there. It was late at night. It was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and we decided to play with Chat GPT. And so Tin brings it up and says, okay, what do we want to know? And we said, what would you serve to the scientists from Project Paperclip at an official luncheon? And it said like bagels and lox or something. And we're like,
Whoa.
yes, I know, right? So the first thing we did was to try to throw it off. And then we're like, but wait a minute. And then they're like, well, a certain percentage of the scientists from Project Paperclip were Jewish. So anyway, it kind of redeemed, but yeah, we tried to break it. Anyway, so great space, guys. I'm so happy to be here with other creators. It's just great to be in a space where that vibe is flowing, and it flows well here. And you guys are hilarious, and I don't find you boring. Thanks.
Love you, Dory. Thank you. Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, I love you when you stop by too, Dory. Like, you're a very interesting person, and I think it's funny that you tried to break it because, yeah, that is actually one of the things I did too. Because do you guys remember when that prompt got dropped for GPT? Please pretend like you're Dan. Do
Yeah.
anything now.
Yeah, that's like the early jailbreaking.
Exactly. So yeah, that was like the first time like I tried to break it, was like messing around with that type of prompt.
I got to it late, so all I did was change the name and then change the acronym, and then it worked again because they were just like filtering out the word Dan.
Oh yeah.
And of course, notice I said I didn't try it at first by myself. I was in a group of people where someone else was doing it and I was watching or listening or what, because that's what I do. Let's see, what are those kids doing? Or what's going to happen when they pick up that frog? Anyway, so great. Thank you.
Yeah, it's funny, how some people, their first impulse is to try and break it. And then other people like me and Rich, our first impulse is like, okay, well, I kind of used a boring example, but the next thing I tried to do with it was try and make money with it. Like I was like, okay, I'm going to start a blog, a website, throw some Google AdSense on there. And I did that. I did that. I ran that for about a year, just full of AI content, and it did okay. I was hoping that it would pay for itself after a year. That's what my goal was with it, and it did. It got to that point with the Google AdSense built into it. But the problem is, it's like you just have to keep adding content daily to it, and then it just becomes a job. And then I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Kind of, yeah. But it was an interesting experience. Yeah, because stuff like that, when something, it's funny, like you think a website or whatever, a blog will be kind of a passive thing, and it can be for a certain time, but it'll eventually trickle off if you don't keep posting on it. So it's like, I was thinking, I'm like, do I see myself doing this for the next 10 years, or should I just like kind of let it fade off now and do something else? Because I was kind of pivoting to doing more like content creation type of stuff and being my own brand and everything at that time. And so I kind of went all in here on X. That was about a year ago, actually. So, it's,
But
yeah.
But Kate, how's that going to be like a year from now with like, operator and AI agents coming out and everything? You might circle back and be like, okay, well, I can actually have an AI agent pumping out fresh content, high quality content that's being cross-checked by these other AI agents that I've built that's being published to the site autonomously. Like I just have to kind of go check out every once in a while. Like I bet you'll get there because you're smart and I know you can do that.
Oh yeah, once I have that, like this is why I am excited, and I do see a lot of value in that $200 subscription. I know a lot of people are like balk at it, like Christopher and stuff, that like how could it possibly be worth that? I have so many projects that are just in a draft phase right now that if I could just train an agent to do every day a process that I just don't feel like doing, I could have all these things probably working, and making, maybe not making money for me right away, but they would build up, and eventually, yeah, with the content, either monetized YouTube channels or a blog with ads running on it. Other things, I had other ideas because I have so much photography. I was going to have a photography magazine online, but it's like all this. I can only do so much, and I have to kind of focus my energy. Right, we're only one person, so but if I get a team of agents working for me, okay, that's another thing. So I think that $200 subscription is really undervalued, in my opinion, for the ChatGPT Pro. And a lot of people will think differently, but um, like I'm pretty sure if I was just focusing my energy on those tools, I could probably have it paying it for itself in a few months, I think.
I
I don't
think
know.
so too.
Yeah.
No, I've totally been starting to think that, and like I keep eyeballing the pro. Like I can't tell you how many times I've loaded that subscription page in the past month, like or since they've dropped it, like because I'm watching videos on YouTube of ways that people are using the AI agents and the operators, and I'm like, I can do that. I'm like, this is going to be a good tool to make some money. And then also, like, if I did subscribe, could I share it? Could I share it with you? Like, maybe we work, like, is that possible? Like, can't you like team it or something?
There's got to
Yeah.
be a cheaper option out there. Claude would be my first assumption for that.
Yeah. I think there is I'm going to just ignore that and then say to Rich, yeah, I think there is a Teams, a function
Okay, there
on
is.
it.
It's, yeah, $25. extra $25.
Oh, okay. Per team member, maybe. So
Yep.
probably,
Per
yeah,
team
yeah.
member, I think.
Okay, okay. So we could split that. So it'd be 125 each for that, and then yeah, okay. So this is us, Rich and I. We have a little bit of the get rich quick blood. You know, that hot blood that the get rich quick schemers like to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I see those ads, I'm like, oh, this loser, I could do it better.
We'll chat about it some more behind the scenes.
Yeah. We'll see. Slimy's hand went back up, so I'm gonna go ahead over to Slimy. What's up?
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna put it down because I don't know when they're gonna stop. But I'll put it right back up. I put the thing down on the. I put her video down on the purple pill. I'm pretty sure she will never come onto this platform because she doesn't really like Elon after the Nazi salute. Yeah.
Technically, he did it twice.
That that was bad, but okay. That was bad. So I put that down there.
Yes, put that he did it twice and then tag him.
No. No, thank you. You can. I'm not risking my chances of him not seeing me. I'm still trying.
Do you think he would block you if you did that?
Yeah, probably would. So I'll let you do that. I'm not gonna take your idea.
Well, I think this is really smart of you to be a fan, such a mega fan of Elon, but still being a fan of someone, even though just because they may not be a fan of Elon, you can still like what they produce.
I like their content. The video I sent, put in the purple pill, was the one I just watched today, and I got to the end of it, and I'm like, "What? You're ending me like this? Wait, what? Huh?" And it's like, "You decide the ending. You decide that this happens." I'm like, "I can't decide that. I need you to decide that." But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so check that out. That's a good recommendation. And is it like geared towards like young adults, teenagers, or
She's an adult. I don't know if she's a young adult because she never really tells us her age. We don't know her age. We don't know her real name. All we know, she is married. I will say that.
but is it a lot of Zoomers into it, like people around your age?
Yeah. Yeah, it's her. It's she has a lot of like adults and stuff too because her content is her original characters. Like they're all her characters that she made. Like one when she was 12, 13. She made these characters and now she's just bringing them to life for everyone to see them.
That's awesome. Cool. And so yeah, I'll check it out. And that might be if anyone here has like, young adults in their family or orbit, then maybe they want to check it out, share that. And yeah, I wanted to welcome everybody who's kind of popped in down there and the listeners. Thanks for joining us. We have bingo going. You can have a chance to win the pinned post in the community on Monday, which is a really great spot to be. We've also got Christopher's question up there. You can answer that down below if you want to come up and share your thoughts on it. And I also have the link to Opus Clip, which is this really cool tool I've been using for taking long form content. You pop it into Opus Clip and it makes it into short clips using their AI. It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. So if you do interview podcasts, or I can even use it for spaces. I can use it for live streams that I like, my past live streams. I'm going to start putting in there and start get some clips because a lot of the stuff it's evergreen content that I can post again. It's just lost to time, right? So this is what I am been using to try and repurpose some of my content. It's really cool. So worth checking out, and that supports the community. And I want to also mention that we've got a couple replies down below. We had, let's see, it's Mr. Drew down there listening. He shared his blog because we were talking about blogging, Rich and I, he shared his blog down below, rewiredwithdrew.com, and it's a pretty interesting concept that he's got going there. Very cool website. And if you want to come up and chat about it, we can. We can. It's pretty cool. So I'd love to give you a little bit of attention if you want. But if you can't speak, that's fine too. But feel free to request if you want to come up and chat about it. And it looks like he's doing 100-day challenges and all kinds of different stuff. It looks like coding and maybe fitness challenges too. A little mix of everything, I guess. So that looks super cool. And I hope you're sharing that to X as well as you're going along, because I bet people would love to follow that journey. So nice to meet you. And then another new listener, I think I haven't seen him around, is Repair down there. And he's got, oh, you came up to speak. Oh, perfect. Good timing, because you're working on your account. So I was like, oh, this is great, because sometimes we get new people in and they're just starting out on X or trying to find their feet, navigate their way around. And we love chatting with new accounts and, just giving a few like tips and insights and stuff to kind of shortcut things a little bit, because there is that like period of just like trying to figure out your way around here and find like the right communities, the right people, like where should I be spending my time? What should I be doing? Trying to reach the right people. So thanks for coming up and chatting. How are you doing today? Nice to meet you.
Oh, I appreciate you giving me the chance. I've been on X for quite a while, but I've just recently started going down the road of actually forming a 501c3, as well as trying to pick up something that I clearly see is in a large demand. And just from my everyday use of X, I see there's a giant void, which history tells me that there's some way there to make money, but it's actually really hard to piece together. But I've been doing HVAC professionally for the past 15 years. And on Twitter or X, sorry, there's really no HVAC community. And then I keep hearing people on the news and all this say, we really need to get this younger generation into the trades. Well, okay, well, how come nobody on X is doing anything related to this? And then I see folks who can't afford to have their heat fixed or their air conditioner fixed. And I see kids that can't afford to have the education given to them. And I'm thinking, okay, well, how about a 501c3 that basically pays the kids to teach them and fixes people's stuff for free? And if there was some way to monetize this or get funding in between, I just feel like there's something there, and I don't know if X is the proper platform to even bring this into. I don't I understand the entire concept of forming the LLC, getting the 501c3 granted. I know how I would gather kids. I just don't know if X is the proper medium to really bring this to the public, if there's any way to monetize it or get funding. Um, I don't know. I had just mentioned this and you said, hey, well, come on up, talk about it. And I'm like, so, all right, well, here I am. And I don't know if there's anything that even melds with X or if I'm just kind of thinking out loud.
Well, I have a couple thoughts right off the bat, because, there are these corners of X that exist, and sometimes it's hard to find them. Even if you post about content and even if you like search and seek it out, it's like hard to find. But there is like this builder contract, not contract, I don't know, like all the trades and stuff like this, but there is this side of X where there's a lot of these like blue collar worker jobs and trades people posting, and I see that, and a lot of people who are you see on YouTube a lot too, people who are like building their own homes or doing like renovations and this kind of stuff, and it's probably like the same like world or orbit, right? I'm guessing for that. And so it does exist, and it's pretty vibrant on here once you do kind of find it. Like I'm pretty sure like Mike Rowe is on X and is kind of active on here. I'm not I like the guy, but I'm not like, spending a lot of time seeing his stuff or anything because it's just not my niche or anything. But I know I'm pretty sure he's on here, so that might be like a corner of X to kind of wander into and just see what's going on. Is any of that sounding good to you, or am I way off?
Well, hold on, really.
I mean, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say also, there are a couple communities. I looked and there's a construction and architectural community that has 2.1 thousand members. Now it doesn't look very active though, but you might be able to like reinvigorate it with some content. And then there is also a HVAC and plumbing service owners entrepreneurship community, but it only has like 700 members. And again, it doesn't look very active, but you might want to start your own community or just go into one of these and start posting and like connecting with some of the people who are in those.
And respectfully, that's kind of what I've seen. I mean, I've always been a technician. I'm not a company owner. I've always worked for somebody else, and I've always been looking around, and I'm like, how come there's no group of people in this? I would like to say it's niche, but at the same time, there's millions of us in the country that do this every single day. So I've just always thought like this is a weird void that I thought that somebody could fill. And even those that aren't in the trade necessarily, I mean, to kind of backtrack, I found myself watching these YouTube guys give people a free roof. And I've spent hours of my life watching people put a roof on somebody's house for free. And I'm like, there's an element of feel good versus kind of feeling productive by almost learning how this process is done. And I just don't want to find myself trying to shove my content onto a platform where it doesn't belong. Does that kind of make sense? Like, yeah, the platform's here, but if it's not worth my time to try to publish it here, and if there's better avenues that I could be producing it on, I I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm just kind of in this gray area where I'm kind of stalling out, thinking, all right, well, I understand the 501c3, I understand the LLC process, I know how to do all of this, but I don't know a way to get this out to the public that could actually make this viable.
I think you're
And I know this is probably way off topic of your space, and I apologize.
No,
but
this is
you
perfect.
told me to come here, so here
Yeah,
I am.
no, we love troubleshooting this kind of stuff. And Christopher, go ahead, and I have another thought, and I know Aura's got some thoughts, and Gunky probably too.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's a massive content gap when it comes to like video content for this kind of thing. I especially like a lot of times I'll see bigger accounts like reposting this stuff where somebody will do like a time lapse of like power washing or taking apart a motor or something like that, and it's mesmerizing because we generally people don't get to see that kind of thing, and to see the process is very interesting. And I mean that's an option, recording yourself doing all that kind of stuff, or just doing basic, like if your AC is making this sound, it could be this, it could be this. You need to watch out for this. Like the I don't see that kind of stuff, and I think it would do well if you did it consistently.
Yeah, you could
Yeah,
become. I'm sorry, Kay, go ahead.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say probably the same thing as you. I agree. I think that would be a really good approach. But I would almost say, like, I don't think X may be the main place for this, especially if you are trying to connect with like business owners and stuff. I think there are a lot on here, but probably Facebook of all places. I know it's probably icky, but it's probably the place where you want to like spend the actual real time and building like a group on there and connecting people, and they'll be on there, right? And because that's, if you have a business, you're going to want to have a Facebook page, right? So that's going to be probably, sadly, but what you can do is create content there, right? And then put it on other places, and then if something pops off on X, and you'd be like, oh wait, maybe I have something here and maybe I should focus my time here. But right from scratch, I like probably would suggest that route. But I'd like to hear what Aura you have to say, and Gunky as well.
Thank you, Kate, and hopefully my dryer isn't too loud. So first off, yeah, X is really hard to gain traction and to find the right silos. I know there are a couple of people that I follow, they're women, but they're really pushing trades. You know, young people need to be in the trades, and you probably already know them, but if not, Mary Tiles Texas and Sarah Luna. And you know, not HVAC, but that's kind of their wheelhouse. They're really pushing trades. And then the second thing was, you know, I think Kate's probably right about Facebook. You might want to make that your home base, but you're going to want to get your presence out on every freaking social media platform on the planet. And you're not going to spend a long time there, but you're going to want to create your content and bounce from place to place to place so that you can, you know, pull that audience into your website. In my opinion, I am not an expert. Third, you know, people really like videos. So definitely, I would highly encourage you to do video, and maybe doing some that aren't for when stuff's broken, but like maintenance and preventative maintenance. And then you could do that tag at the end for your nonprofit, and getting these young people educated to give you those services. Because I know, like me, I've got, oh, whatever, you know, one of those heat pumpy whatever things outside, and there's these filters, and if I don't change them on a regular basis and do it the right way, it's going to ruin my entire system, and I'm going to have expensive repairs, replacement. Other silly facts that, you know, I didn't know when I bought it. If it snows and the temperature gets to like 20, it doesn't work anymore. You know, crazy stuff. So just like,
You gotta set it to emergency heat if you're below 20. Come on
we
now.
don't have emergency heat. We now have a bunch of space heaters for the one time it's happened, but really it's crazy. But yeah, no, and I like what you're doing. That's awesome. I wish you the absolute best of luck.
Yeah, because if you're trying to connect, like, if you're trying to connect like business owners and the guys that can take on like apprentices and people right out of trade school or something with young people. So like you're trying to be that bridge that gap. So it's like you probably will need to be in multiple places because the the business owners are probably going to be on Facebook or just have websites and not on social media at all. And then the young people are going to be, you know, on TikTok or Instagram or possibly here. There supposedly is a young audience on here. I haven't found them because my following and like group I'm in is 30 somethings and
It's
40
so
somethings and
boring. I just threw that in there so that somebody could mark interrupt on the bingo card.
good job. Good job. Thank you.
Uh,
I knew Slimy
then
was.
what am I?
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah, go ahead, repair. Go ahead and respond, and we'll go to Gunky and see what he's got.
What am I then?
All right.
What?
Well, oh, sorry. Someone's got an opinion.
No,
It
you
was
didn't.
Slimy. She was joking around because she is younger. She's younger than probably most of us here.
She's like 8.
Gotcha. I really appreciate all of your advice. It does definitely give me something to think about. Hearing to go to Facebook just.
Yeah, that is the vibe. Yes.
I know. I know, but I also
But
don't want to like, you know, give you false hope and be like, yes, here it's going to be awesome and you'll be able to build something amazing. It would be a long slog, and we hang out here because we just love hanging out here.
We're all lifers.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So if you love hanging out here and you're all in on that, then yes, I think you could do it. But if you really want to build something and have like a strong, vibrant community, I mean, Facebook just has the tools for that. And, you know, those business owners are going to be there. Whereas here, it's everyone's just kind of scattered and it's a lot of work to collect. That's why I do these spaces, because it's like impossible to find people.
I mean, this space really has been incredibly valuable. If nothing else, it just keeps me on that course of thinking and moving forward towards where I'm trying to go, even if it's stuff that like Facebook. You get what I mean? Like it's always good. The second that I stop thinking about the project, it's easy to just let it stall out. You know, like that car that you were so grateful just started after class. you don't dare turn it off at the red light because you don't know if it's going to start again. I don't know if anybody relates to that, but that's the story of my
Oh, I can
early
relate.
life.
Yeah, totally.
And I mean, and I know it's probably superfluous. I can't say that word, but I'm not looking for business owners to invest. I'm genuinely not. I'm fully capable of teaching people myself. I have other technicians that are 30 years, experience, willing to teach themselves. This is really just how would I be able to publish material effectively enough to be able to get the likes or the media or the ad revenue that would be able to make this self-sustaining. I fully expect that I'll have to keep my day job at least for the first, I'd say, 5 years, optimistically. And I'm not going to be like, oh well, I made a website, so now I'm making $250,000 a year. No, I assume that I'm going to go out of pocket for the first 5-10 years. But eventually, I would just like this to be self-sustaining, and if it ever grows into something bigger, then great. Sorry, I'm gonna
That's
stop
okay.
now because my son wants me to see his tablet.
Can
All right, no, that's important stuff. And now with that in mind, I don't know, Rich, if you were going to say YouTube. For me,
Yeah,
that is the place to get monetized.
exactly.
Is YouTube.
Especially for that
Yeah,
type of content, because people do they eat that content up on YouTube, and YouTube pays its creators very well. But definitely diversify. Don't leave X. Like, one of the best things in business is finding a void, finding area that you can kind of slip into. And if there is no HVAC representation on X, you can be that representation. It might take a little while to get there. That's why, go ahead and build on other platforms too. But you know don't give up here. Like, even if the audience isn't here and people aren't doing it, like I said, you can be that voice.
yeah, yeah. And so, as far as strategizing to get monetized, YouTube would be where, if that was like my goal to that I want to be monetized on social media, I would put all my effort into YouTube. And that would be tutorials, how to's, the mesmerizing videos, time lapse videos, as shorts, that kind of stuff. And then while you're making those videos, you can then also post those on the other platforms. And you never know what will blow up, but I would put like that energy into YouTube and get that monetized, build that channel up. And then if by chance repurposing that content elsewhere, you get that same effect, then you can, do the monetization on the other platforms. I think that would be probably the best strategy if that is the goal. So, yeah, I hope that helps. And now, Gunky, please add your 2 cents.
Well, I'm sort of in a similar situation, and I don't know what people think of this, but I do notice, Repair, that you're Repair, but you're kind of a bit political. And by being a bit I'm very political on this account, and so my very first thought when I want to branch out and do something else was to just start a whole new account. I've just got a clean slate. I've then been playing around with names, and then I've got like a list of Rumble, YouTube, TikTok, this, that, and the other, and sort of doing a little pros and cons. What do I gain? What do I lose? How much time is it going to take, etc., etc. And then what I'm going to try and do is get ahead of myself with some content. So I'm always sort of a week or so ahead and not absolutely tied down. The name, I think, is very important, because I've had a little business and then decided to get a web page and it was gone. Yeah. And decided to get a YouTube and it was gone. So I think, yeah, so a clean slate, a new account. And it just so happens my brother's got a air conditioning business, quite a big one in London. And just in terms of content, I'd be interested to see almost like a history of HVAC, from like Roman hypercourse and whatever they were doing in ancient times to where we've got to today, to like the Empire State Building system. This is what they're using in Dubai. This is the latest thing in China. I think you could find, that will pull, I think, would pull the kids in, more than, you know, here's how I repair this unit. You know, here's me scrubbing all the pigeon crap off the blades on a fan on top of a building, which I've actually done with my brother. But yeah, to try and build a little bit of excitement in the actual subject of controlling the temperature, controlling an internal environment, essentially, I guess is what you'd call it, and just sort of work from the simplest stuff. And whoever said, you know, there's nothing to stop you being the guy. You know, you are the guy. You can't find it. No one else is doing it. Perfect. There's a big hole for you to fill there.
Yeah, you can get really clickbaity about it. Like, this is how I froze my pets with the AC.
Yeah, go ahead, Repair. You can respond.
I'll land at this. I feel awful for completely eating up your entire space with my topic. But no, I completely understand about creating a new account. If you saw me every day when I'm at work, you would never know my political position. Politics and business have no intersection as far as I'm concerned. I already actually have the .com, the everything already reserved. And if you ever know that that's me, then I didn't do my job. I've gone out of my way to make sure that my social media and my professional life, if you're tracking them and somehow finding out that that's me, then you're doxing me and you're kind of creeping me out a little bit. But no, I completely understand. And on this account, yeah, I'm way too political to ever even ask for a dime from anybody just for liability purposes. But I actually really do love that idea of kind of the, not saying clickbait, but the videos of, I froze my pets to death with my air conditioner. Publish that video. Oh my lord, the amount of views that I would get, and then people would say, "What?" Even if it's just nonsense. But I think that
Well,
what
and
you
you
just
can
said. Sorry.
you can use AI to make a video for it too, to push it just a little bit further. You know.
You could totally just look online for actual news stories, and you know, that are already sensational on their own, and like, and you can be like, with your experience, this is what went wrong. You know, like, keep it really short, but you know, you're kicking it in with like a, you know, a wild story.
Oh man, you guys have been great, guys and ladies. I have so many ideas as far as how did these people die, what went horribly wrong, what could they have done to save this party,
Dude, I would
et
watch
cetera,
that.
et cetera.
I
There's
would,
so many
I would
ideas,
watch
and
that video.
I really appreciate it. And thank you, Kate, for twisting my arm and telling me to get my ass up here.
Who was
I
that
love
guy
it.
on YouTube? Chubby Emu. He's like a doctor. So he's like, you know, this person ate Tic Tacs for you know, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and this is what happened to his intestines, or something like that. You could do that for HVAC.
That's awesome. You guys are great. And this is why I like it when people are like, you know, kind of come up here and do just spout what their ideas are, because we've got a great mix of people here that come from all different points of view, you know, all over the world, different experiences. So we can give you like ideas that it's crazy. I love it. That's why I host these spaces, because like I'll never can meet these people any other way. And I just love all this conversation. So, and I think even though you know, you think your stuff is specific and niche to a certain thing, we can all kind of gain something from it. So you can take this approach to videos and apply it to whatever your topic is, like what Christopher's saying about the sense, finding news stories about what your topics are that you're interested in, and then, you know, solving that problem, or uh, just adding your reaction. And if you ride these little mini trends, like we talk about this sometimes, you know, it's not about like seeking out trends and finding them and stuff, but if something pops up in your news feed and you have an opinion on it, or you can provide insight on it because you're an expert in that subject, who's not going to enjoy that, especially if it's relevant and current? And that
Yep.
will always on these any social media platform, that will always kind of bubble up to the top. Each platform has its own ways of doing that. Like some platforms use hashtags, some platforms you just want to make sure the keywords in there. Some you need a video, some you need an image, or some you need to repost or get people to share. So you have to, like, whatever platform you're using for that kind of strategy, you got to understand the best approach for it so you get the reach. But just putting that stuff out there will advance your cause for sure. So that's a really great insights on this. So thanks guys for sharing.
I just thought of another angle. There's a lot of video games that have like heating ducts that you have to walk through. Like Half-Life is a good example. And you could be like, HVAC expert plays Half-Life for the first time. Here's why it makes no sense.
That's awesome. Yeah, see, that's the key, is to get your content to be comical or sensational somehow. And like Christopher is like brilliant at doing that. And if you do go through those news headlines, I guarantee you're going to find an article about like an HVAC system that got clogged by like a boa in Florida or something like that.
Like full of bats or something like that. This one got, it's full of bees.
Yeah, and Andrew, who's down there listening, he posted a reply down there with some good advice too. Tagged the wrong person we were talking to, but I think we got it sorted out in there. So yeah, let me make sure I'll tag him in there so he sees it. Because yeah, there's some good advice there too. And I will remind you, everyone here, that this is being recorded, and then I do release these as podcasts, so you can go back and listen. So if you're like kind of busy doing something right now and you're listening and you want to remember, you can always go back to the podcast. I usually put it out like a few days after the recording. It will update, and that's on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and you can find that searching for Collaboration Station. It should come up, so you can always find the references you need there or reach out. And with that, I think we've kind of got that one sorted, and wishing the best of luck. And I hope he comes back with updates for us and see how it's going, because we've seen that a lot. Now with Gunky, he's been coming here quite often for a while now, and we're kind of watching him create a new idea for an account, create the account, kind of get in the launching phases of it. And I will say, I don't know if you've been noticing me liking your posts lately, but that's because you're showing up in my For You feed now. After all this time, if you guys show up in my For You feed, I give you a like. I'm not out visiting your pages, like you guys are great, but but I'm a doom scroller, through and through. So when I see it, I give it a like. I see Joe's stuff a lot, who's up here, and Dory, you're all over my For You because you're always posting cool content. Aura's on there when she does her one-liners, and some of the others
When
here.
she does her
Yeah.
one-liners.
I see her good morning posts when she pins them in the community or whatever when she all right, so let's go to Gunky and we'll go to Aura. Gunky, what's up?
Yeah, I've things have gone a little bit slow with what I'm doing because life's got in the way a little bit. We've had a bit of a tragedy over here. Plus, we had what I call faux spring in Britain, which is you get 2 lovely warm days totally out of the blue and then straight back into winter again. So we all have brilliant ideas and then go back to bed.
Yeah, same thing happened here. It was like 70 degrees a few days ago, and now it was like 20 with wind, and this is in Fahrenheit, so figure it out, Gunky. That and then the wind chill is probably like close to 5 degrees, which is cold. That's cold. 32 is 0 in Celsius. That's all I know.
You know what could help with that? An effective HVAC system.
Oh yes, yes. I'm with Aura next to the space heater right here. Aura, how's it going?
It is going well. I am taking a little break from laundry, so I just wanted to pop on and say, because I don't think we've talked about it yet, Rich started a new community the other day. Have we talked about that and I missed it?
No,
Yes,
we haven't.
No, we
Tell
have not.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's called Make X Great. And, we were talking about some of the deficiencies of X earlier in the conversation. So, Rich, you should give a pitch for the community. I'm getting ready to put it down in the purple pill.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for bringing that up, Aura. Yeah, I started the community just a couple days ago. We're already up to 64 members. Many of you have already joined, and I thank you very much for that. Pretty much the goal of the community is just to put all of our ideas and our hopes and our aspirations for X into like one spot. I do plan to like create some articles. I know you can't have community articles, but I can post some articles that can be like living documents that we can keep updated. Maybe like our hopes and desires for X. I think that's going to be like my first focus for the community is just like our wish list. Like what do we want fixed? Like the notifications. Like that's one of my things that I want fixed. I don't want to get notifications for reactions on group chats. Like that's so annoying and I want to be able to shut that off.
You can
And I
turn that
don't want
off.
to receive notifications. What would you
You
say?
can turn that off, can't you?
I don't think so. Can you?
I mean, I have all notifications off on my phone, so but you may be able to
Okay.
do that individually by
Yeah, well, I
snoozing.
haven't been able to. Okay, well, if it is there, then I'll have to scratch that off the list. See, that'd be part of the community is that we'll share our, our things that we want fixed, and maybe somebody's gonna be like, oh, well, that's already a thing, and we'll help each other out. That's another thing I want to be in there, is tutorials, any sort of help guides for just getting around X, navigating, people who are new to the platform, trying to grow their accounts. I want like for people to know what things to avoid, not to answer every single DM from people offering to, sell you followers and engagement and stuff like that, which people who are new to the platform, they may not know better, especially if they're kind of new to social media. So yeah, I have a lot of hopes for the community. I think it's going to be a great thing. And I invite you all to join us and please share your ideas with us. Thank you, Aura.
Yeah, and I pinned it up above as well, so you can join that. So these are sister communities to the collaboration station here. And we all offer a little bit different style and different vibe and different things. So this community, it's just about meeting new accounts, connecting with people. We talk about creator topics because that's what we're all thinking about. So we kind of get into stuff like this. And we have spaces scheduled twice a week. We do Sunday evenings this time, 6 p.m. Eastern on the East Coast USA. And then we do Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Eastern. And short something like we can't make it as hosts, those are every week. And you can set those in your calendar and join us. And then we have Aura's community, which is What the Cluck community. And that is also for content creators, active accounts on this platform, a place to get together. And she has her regular space on Thursdays
At 12 p.m.
Yeah.
Pacific Standard Time.
Thank you. Thank you. Perfect. And so that's a great hangout space. Like I would definitely recommend that. And so we share a lot of people who enjoy Aura's community, enjoy this one, and vice versa. And then now we're adding in this other community with Rich for Make X Great, which is specific to X. And we will be doing, I think, mostly just pop-up spaces. So this will just be when there's some hot X topic going on and we're available. Whoever's like Rich is the admin, I'm a moderator, and we're adding more moderators. I think Aura and a few other people will be able to put a space up and get the conversation going as it's kind of unfolding in real time. And so that's just kind of be the vibe of the community as well. So all this stuff is about connecting with other content creators on here and finding the right kind of group that's like, we're interested in making this place better. We're interested in connecting. We want to have genuine, authentic interactions with people across all things. We have a lot of creative people in here because just like content creation ends up being a lot of images and video and stuff. So that's like a very artsy group that can kind of come together. But X is all about writing. It's all the written word, really, what it comes down to. Sometimes it's very succinct and brief, sometimes it's long form. So that's also here. And that can be technical, that can be business, that can be creative writing, that can be whatever you imagine it to be, news, current events. So that these communities can take all kinds of people and you can get value out of it. So I hope that encourages everyone to join all three. And the fastest way to do that is just to click on our faces. You click on my face, join Collaboration Station. It's in my profile. Click on Rich's face. Well, no, Rich, click above. He's got his other silver community in his profile, but click up above for the Make X Great community. Join that. And then you click on Aura's face and go to her profile and join the What the Cluck. And then you're going to get those notifications for the spaces. Because even if you're not necessarily posting in the community, which we always encourage people do, you will get the notifications for the spaces, and that's where the real connections happen. So there we go. How was that speech?
It was good.
Oh, that was
That-
great.
Amazing. Thank
Respectable.
you so much.
Wonderful. Good. I'm glad. I need validation. I'm just a broken child, deep down.
You're doing amazing.
And
everyone
is
here
was
appreciates
Ora's
it.
hand still up?
No, no, my hand's not up. Sorry.
No, it's my computer glitch.
You can turn
That's
that
all right.
off.
We've got Dory with her hand up now, so I'd love to hear what Dory has to add to this. You've got your
Yeah.
weird art
Hey,
community.
I started a community this week too.
Yes.
It's called Weird Art and Oops. Because anyone who does a lot of, spends a lot of time with AI art and generations, and I hear this in spaces, no, you just keep hitting regenerate till it gives you what you want. And every once in a while, of course, it throws out something with 3 legs or a head and a half, or something else completely crazy. Like you have this beautiful picture, but then in the background there's a dog that looks like a, I don't know, pom-pom or something. Anyway, and it's not a pom dog. Anyhow, so I started this Weird Art and Oops because late at night sometimes the artists start sharing their weird creations or their oopses. And we were having so much fun with that. I thought, well, what the heck? Why don't I just create a community where you can, drop your oopses and then we can all have a great chuckle? Because a laugh is a really great way to just shake off the day's like tension. You're intensely trying to get something done, and then all of a sudden you see something crazy, it makes you laugh, and then you share it, and other people laugh, and it's just wonderful. So, anyway, I'll put it in the purple pill. It's not, I've got 81, 82 people, I think, in there. It's not for everyone, but if you do enjoy looking at odd art or the AI generations that we call oops art, please request. And I do have to approve everyone. I didn't want to get a whole bunch of trolls in there. So thank you for letting me tell you about that. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yes, that's so awesome. I love that idea for that community too. So we're all playing around with AI up here. I think, yeah, pretty much everyone up here that I know anyway. We all play around with AI. So that's a fun, creative community. And if you're not into it, it's kind of fun when you have when I have these little like random thoughts, like these little puns or turns of phrases, or I say something weird. I kind of make a note of it and then use that as like a prompt or an idea to create a little image or a little video clip. And it just kind of gets that thought out into the world, and I have to force it upon you. And it's kind of a fun, weird way to get creative with things and it's so easy to just get it out because I can't really draw. I would love to draw this stuff, but I'm not really that good at it, or it just takes me a long time. But I can go into AI, fiddle around with it for a second, go back to my work and go back and fiddle some more. And it's just a really fun creative outlet. And then once you kind of unlock that door, it becomes easier and easier, and it does tap into something that I think a lot of us maybe disregard, that creative side of the brain, and it really helps everything else, I think. And
And
yeah.
And it's just it becomes such a nice, like, okay, so this account called Pixelgram, and she's fairly new. She's a very good artist. She's been we play with new techniques, do art challenges, whatever everybody does, right? So she did this texture one. And I mean, she really got some texture. We're all like dying laughing because the hair looks like corkscrew pasta, orange and turquoise, because she's going for this color combination. So she drops that in there. And, we all get to look at it and just go, oh my God. Or you're getting a generation and you start seeing it and you're going, oh my God, this is going to be so awesome. This dude. And then he's got 3 legs and you're going, oh, or 2 left hands. So then you drop it in the weird art and you laugh and you move on. It's just kind of fun. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's great. It's fun. And yeah, it's something that's almost there, but then maybe we talk about happy accidents with the AI sometimes too. It takes you a different direction. You're like, all right, that's going to work for me.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it drops a beauty on you and you go, oh my God, how do I get that again? Right. And then you get, learn from those kinds of things. Sometimes the AI tosses something completely left field, but it'll be striking, so there are happy accidents too. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Dory. Always great to chat with you. Slimy, what's up?
I started another community today that no one has joined yet. But I have 2 communities, both for things that I like. Epic the Musical is my first community I started, has 152 members, and it's in my spotlight. And then I started another community today for Crazy Case. Sunflowers is what she calls her fans. And so far, I'm the only one in that group, in that community. So hopefully, get more eventually. But those are my 2 communities I have.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to find other people, just if you're trying to navigate X and trying to find like, okay, I'm really interested in the subject. Where do I go? Or this is something I'm into right now. Where do I go? Communities can be the place. And not all of them are active. So you do want to kind of do an investigation into them and see which ones have recent posts, which ones are hosting spaces. Not all of them host
Which
spaces.
ones are full of bots?
Right. Oh, Rich coming in hot.
No, just saying there are a lot of communities that are like just very heavily botted out there. So yeah, just like Kate said, look at the posts, look at the engagements, kind of look at those ratios of like the impressions to the engagements, and just make your best decision.
Yeah, look at how old they are versus how many members they have.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, if they're 120 years old and still collecting checks from the government, don't join their community.
Unless that's what you're into.
Yes, Aura.
Yeah, I was going to say, as an admin of a community, that is, I think, one of the most time consuming. And, I put up questions so that hopefully that would screen out a lot of bots, but there are a lot of real users who don't answer them. So when you join a community, I would really just answer the questions. It makes it so much easier on the mods and if you and admins. And I would be very cautious about communities who are not doing their due diligence in adding members, because I get tons and tons of bots that want to join. So, I could just approve them all and then make it look like I'm bigger and better. That, you know what I mean? But yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, guilty. I sometimes just get too excited and click that join button without even reading the question, because it's just one of those things. The placement of it is weird. So I have done that, and I know how easy it is to accidentally not answer the questions. I've done that on Facebook too, where I just, if it's optional, and when it's optional, it doesn't stop you. You just kind of click, and you're in, and then they're like, hey, you didn't answer the questions. Like, huh? But for the collaboration station community, which this space is held in, there I just ask for like a post that's, represents your content. Not everyone puts anything in there, but I do check all the profiles, because what we do want is active accounts on here, people that are posting content, and that's a pretty thin word for me, my interpretation of it. It's like, as long as you're adding something to the platform, not just reposting, we will let you into the community. And the real main benefit of the community is the possibility of getting that pinned post. And that's, you have to play the bingo game during these spaces to win that coveted spot. So just a reminder, we're going to be going for another, let's see, how does time work? 35 minutes or so. And you have a chance, the first person to get bingo and put the screenshot down below in the replies will get the pinned post on Monday. And if nobody claims that prize, I'm going to give that to Casey, have an opportunity to have that pinned post this Monday, since he forgot or missed, or we misunderstood for how to claim that prize. So there'll be a pinned post and you can see how well it does for Monday. Okay. Let's see. I wanted to talk to Mr. Drew. So I hope you're available to chat, because you came up on stage after sharing your blog down below. And I wanted to get to know you better, because I don't think we've spoken before in a space, and see what your account's about. Are you able to chat?
Yeah, hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. So what's your account all about? I mean, it's pretty obvious you're coding with Drew, but is that what you're posting mostly about on X, and or is it a mix of stuff, or what are you into?
So I've had a blog called Coding with Drew. Started out as drewlearns.com, but turned into codingwithdrew.com about 2 years ago. I've been doing it for about 8 years, and it's all about coding. And I did 4 rounds of 100 days of code, and it changed my life. And I reached kind of a pivotal moment where I decided I wanted to make some massive changes in my mental health and physical health. And so I cold turkey quit using tobacco, and made these big plans. And I'm going to hold myself publicly accountable in a 100-day challenge kind of fashion, for getting healthier, learning a new language, dating my wife, and taking 10,000 steps a day, little challenges like this. And it started out as a simple idea. I needed transformational blog or vlog, and it kind of developed into more with the 100 days challenge aspect. And I'm really looking forward to it. So April 1st, I start a big ass challenge. The 100 days of not being a fat ass. It's rather blunt and terse, I guess, but it's meant to try to get people talking about it. So I plan on losing 50 pounds in 100 days, passing a Navy PRT, and a bunch of other things. And I've spelled out how I'm going to do it and go about it. I'm encouraging other people to join me on the challenge on April 1st through July 10th. It's 100 days. And I think you can do anything for 100 days if you really try and put in the effort. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That's super cool. So are you going to, I know you have the blog and the website and everything, but are you going to be sharing your progress on X or any other social media platforms as well?
Yeah, so I have a big following on X and on LinkedIn. I like LinkedIn a lot for professional networking. So I'm going to end up sharing a lot there. And it Rewired with Drew kind of really pairs well with Coding with Drew. So I kept them as 2 separate blogs. And I'll probably continue to do Coding with Drew long term, but in the short term interim, I'm going to be focused on Rewired with Drew. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's exciting. It's challenging. Yeah.
Yeah, no, awesome. I just want to make sure we get it all straight so we can follow you along. So this account know on X, or will you be posting about it?
Oh, sorry, I didn't answer the question I asked. I'll be posting on X on this account, mostly, and LinkedIn. But you can also subscribe on the webpage and get notifications that way if you like email notifications.
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah. Some people are like hesitant about, post like having their social media account, and it's like, oh, I've just been doing this one thing for so long. Will my audience like it if I start posting about something else? And I'm just always in the camp of like, if your audience is interested in you as a person and the content you create, because you are that person behind the account, then they'll go on the ride with you wherever it goes, as long as it's something relatable. And I think, a weight loss journey, that's an amazing thing to watch unfold, and have accountability partners, and also just be like, that little bit of, shame. You get to see someone's doing it and I'm sitting here being lazy, like that. That's what I enjoy, just to get me motivated to do something. So I really love this. And I will hope you'll keep coming back to our spaces. We do these every week, because I'd love to know, like, you check in and your updates, and whatever we can do to help. uh if you need, you said you had a good following on here, but it's always like trying to meet new people, especially if you're branching out into different kinds of subjects and stuff, that I'm sure that's a general interest. Like, a lot of people are going to want to follow that journey. So I hope you'll keep us updated on it.
Will do. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's the whole idea is to hold myself publicly accountable. So the more avenues to do that, the better. The more likely that I am to finish the challenge and complete all the associated goals with it. And learning Japanese at the same time should be an interesting, mental challenge to go along with the physical challenge. So that's what I'll be doing for the next 100 days.
Oh, so cool. Yeah, learning a language is really cool. I did that for a while and I really enjoyed it. So that's a fun thing to really challenge yourself as an adult, to do these things that you really have to like apply yourself, right? Like, you have to speak it. You have to practice almost every day. I think every day is probably really actually the best way to learn a language, but that it's it's a it's something that, as an adult, we don't necessarily seek out and do. Like, we have information fed to us all the time, and that's the information we absorb. Whereas when you have to actually go somewhere, read something, listen to something, study, maybe take notes, like actually actively apply yourself in that learning scenario, it's a different feeling. And it's interesting to experience as an adult, like away from many years away from college and that kind of school environment, putting yourself back into it. It's interesting, and and I think a fitness or weight loss type of path is very similar to that, because you have to put yourself in that scenario to do that every day, and set yourself up for that success, instead of and fighting that constant self-sabotaging we want to do, like, oh, I don't have time to do that today, oh, I'm tired, oh, this life event came up I wasn't expecting, so I can't do it today. We will always constantly do that, and it's so applicable to so many things. So it's good luck with it. And I hope to watch it unfold, because I did follow back and I want to see the posts and everything, but no guarantees. That's why I always invite everyone to come to the space, because I'm not in control of what I see, really. I know there's ways to, but generally I just, whatever's on my For You is what I will see. Yes, Rich.
Can I talk about the bingo card?
Yes. Did you win
Okay.
bingo or something?
No, I haven't won bingo yet, but I just want to verify. Is it all right if I kind of go over the ones that I've checked to make sure, like, if is it all right if we talk out loud about what we got here? Like, so I've checked off the Projectatron because I feel like that's been mentioned. Purple Pill, I feel like everybody should probably have that one checked off. What are you working on? I'm pretty sure you've asked a couple people what they're working on. And then I think we've had an interruption, so I've got that one checked off. Am I missing anything?
Yes. Chris made a non sequitur joke and no one laughed.
Okay.
And then I think we did AI can help with that. I feel like that one's been used too for
Oh, totally.
something. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we're getting close. I'm pretty close. I'm playing along too. Yeah.
Well, thank
So
you for updating me. Yeah, that still doesn't complete my board, but I'm a little closer now.
yep, yep. All right. So let's see. Where else can we take this conversation of are you boring? Because we touched on it at the very beginning of the space about like when you are kind of making niche content or specific content, it's not gonna be for everybody. So there might be a large contingent of people that may see your posts and not find it interesting. So does that necessarily make it boring content, or it's just not the right fit, not the right audience? Or am I actually really boring and that I just have to come to terms with that and maybe I can find other boring people like me? Um, let's get into it. Okay, Gunky, what do you got?
Well, something I'm doing now is I'm sort of getting with this other account that's going to be restoring furniture and found objects, basically. And I've created I'm calling it CODAR, which is content radar, and trying to have my charged up phone with me all the time and just thinking that would make content, that would make content. I'll photograph that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And then if I then find it boring, I won't publish it anywhere. But yeah, just get it. Just turn on my CODAR. That might be content, and just grab it, link to it, copy it, steal it, whatever, and then and just build up a library of content. I'm very much about getting ahead of myself as well. So it's like I can always throw that in. You know, if I don't finish this video, I've got this. You know, yeah. So my next door neighbour's a scrap dealer, and he parks his truck right next to my house, and just me sort of mooching around, seeing if there's anything worth having in the back of his van. I reckon people would quite like that, you know, especially when I suddenly every now and then I'll strike gold. You know, I'll just find a very old, very rare item and grab it, pop round to his house a couple of doors down the road and make a deal and just pay him there and then for it. I think people might find that interesting. It's and also interesting what people throw away. It's like, why would anyone throw this away? You know, it's rusty, but hey. But yeah, just so whatever you're doing, just it's the minutiae which I find most fascinating in things, you know, rather than just big bold statements and lots of AI graphics and stuff. I find people talking in detail and depth about what they know about. Anyway, that's my 2 pennies worth.
Yeah, and I think that I definitely agree with all that, because I think that's what people who come to this space and actually enjoy what I say and the sound of my voice and like the topics we discuss here probably have that, like, oh, I like it a little bit peeled back, a little bit more in depth, like actual actionable things we can talk about and, hash things out a little bit, because I'm definitely into that. So I bet a lot of people in this room would like when you're talking about what you're going to be doing are like, oh yeah, that sounds like awesome content. I definitely want to watch. Um, and I want to just say Christopher is an expert on this type of content where people maybe find items and then resell them. Is he even listening? He might not be. He might be busy. Well, all right, fine. Leave me hanging. But we always joke about the like the shows on TV that do that, like the picker shows and the storage shows where they find items and then resell them, and or the refurbishing and all this stuff. It's like it's a huge genre on television, reality show. People love it. And what's great about that too, Gunky, is you can do a project where you kind of experiment with these different videos, and the whole process from finding it to making the deal and everything. You can have that story unfold on your account over time in real time. And then you can cut it all together in a super video that will be like this amazing, like long form content. And that could go, on X, but that could also be a fantastic YouTube video where it's almost like a full episode of a show like that. And it's like you could see how that could be so, so good. So I'm excited for it. I want you to get on it. All right. Enough of me rambling. Joe, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for the space. It's always very nice to listen to you guys. They always have an entertaining space. So yeah, I was gonna, I guess, agree with that. Is like I find like me personally, like with the boring topic, it's like I find myself to be like a bit boring, or I have to try to like engage with the different things that I'm doing, and I'm not much of a like public speaking type of person or an outgoing type of person. So it's like with the boring thing, it's like almost every post I make, I'm like I throw every bit of AI at it I can. I'm like Luna Labs, yeah, let's make that thing move. And it's like so I always wonder. It's funny about it being like boring. Like I basically established my whole thing around my name and JoePro.ai and AI and all of that stuff. So it's like having that topic of AI and making it interesting has been fun. It's been trouble to do, but I've always found it good. And I just wanted to also mention, say I love Dory's space. I was like generating some images before, and I'm like every single one of them was off resolution, so it was double. Yeah, it was like a cat picture, and it was all double cats, and I was like, this is just crazy. Like, what am I doing with my life that I'm doing this? But yeah, I kind of touched base with the boringness factor, and I was wondering, like, I've really kind of invested in it for Joe Pro AI. It's my handle on everything, and I've got the JoePro.ai website kind of in the build, and I just wonder if, like, being a boring person is gonna detract from, I guess, anything that I tried to do. I don't know. I just say it reminds me of every time I post the topic. I'm like, yeah, I'm not that engaging. So I'm like, I'm trying to be better at it, I guess. But love the space. I just wanted to come up here and just say hi.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Knowing that you're boring is the first step, to breaking through and embracing it, right? So I think what breaks through that idea of like, oh, this is just a humdrum topic that no one's going to be interested in, is something that you're excited about. So, you're excited about something, and that translates through in your content. That's going to get other people who are interested or excited about it. So, once you figure out exactly what that is, and I'm sure it's something to do with AI, with you, so it will fit right into your whole brand that you've come up with, which I think is a fantastic investment, by the way, in doing all those things. It's just like what gets you super excited, like when you wake up in the morning and you're going to go sit at the computer and you have like a few free couple hours. What are you doing like with that time? Like if there's no obligations anywhere else for anything, so that's probably where you want to head. And I said this in the last space, I think, like I had a mentor tell me, like, whatever it is that you should be doing is probably what you're already doing. So kind of look at what you're already doing and figure out ways that you can improve that, spin off of that, get more excited about it, like take in a direction that you're like genuinely fascinated, interested in, like the project you were building, you know, showing behind the scenes on that, making articles on your website, make into a blog format, like Drew's doing with his website. You know, it's pretty dry content, a lot of it, but you can add in videos and stuff like that. And you know that as well as me that with it, when you do your live streams and you're doing some technical stuff, you can take that and feed that into like Opus Clip or another app, or like just get the transcript, feed it into AI, and get all kinds of content from something that you've already done, and you know, create blog articles about it, you know, get that information out there. And you know, I think once you kind of just do that more and more, it'll all start to come together, because I think it's already kind of happened with you over the past, like, 6 months, 8 months that you've been doing it.
For sure. So yeah, it definitely, and I feel like that's kind of what I'm trying to do is like my whole website. I'm basically building everything that I can do on there. So it's like I'm gonna have, and I'm gonna do it for free until I can't afford that. But it's like gonna have all of the image generation models there, like all of the different things, you know, that I can do with the AI. So I just wonder with the, I feel like I'm going to build all this stuff and then there's just no audience for it, or the audience has already been sucked up by the other places that it's like, you know, I don't know. I wonder if I'm just like, you know, spinning wheels or not, but I agree. I thank you for kind of pointing that out. It's, yeah, I think you stick with it and it feels natural that it's like evolving. Appreciate you.
Yeah, yeah. And Christopher, do you have any advice for like Joe on his content that he could create around this? You might know more about what he's like doing and what might be a better way to like format his content and stuff.
What's your focus, Joe?
Oh, and I didn't want to steal any attention away from the space or anything like that. Basically, a lot of the AI work. I'm, you know, I'm currently building my website, which will have, you know, like all of the API calls and things like that to Luma Labs. And another thing like I'm doing is so they have a limitless pendant, which is a like a recording stenographer AI tool that I'm developing a program. It's a web-based program that is so that it takes in the life log that is recorded there, and it will process notes. It will process like commands basically. So then it's going to be, yeah. So basically, techie AI, you know, that whole world, which is kind of a saturated world, but I don't know. I didn't want to take up space with my, you know, AI stuff. I just wanted to.
So you're plugging in talks and then it spits out a bunch of videos. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah. So like, well, no. So the device itself would pull in the conversation that you've had during the day, and after it pulls it in, it will process the information there. And if there's like a send an email to John about the topics that we were talking about, it will read that, it knows how to do that, put together the email, and have that ready for you after it executes that. And it's like a separate program, a web-based program that's going to do all that, which it's kind of doing. So it's a positive thing, but that's like, it's also boring. So it's like, how do you say that this is the content I have, but it's like a boring topic. It's like, this is what I'm doing, but I don't know if anyone's interested.
I would say short form video content where it's like this is the exact use case, and you're kind of like pantomiming what you would use it for, and you're like, oh, here it is, and here's my email and all that kind of stuff. And then in the text of your post, you can say like, here are the technical details. If you're interested, here's a thread below that. So you're catching both people that are interested in like the technical side and the people that are just interested in the use case side of things.
Gotcha. Thank you. Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, I probably would have thrown a whole bunch of AI at it and hoped it worked, and it wouldn't. So.
Yeah, and I don't mind, discussing some of the stuff where you feel like you're kind of getting the weeds with your content and stuff, because I think we can all understand how it can apply to something that we're doing. We're not doing exactly what you're doing, but there is something like super technical and crazy in the weeds that I can get into in certain subjects, but I have to understand like who is that person that's consuming this content, and it's usually someone just like yourself. So you want to be able to explain things to yourself. So it's like one trick that I recommend is think about yourself 3 months ago, 6 months ago with like AI or tools or whatever, an app. And then like what would you tell yourself now with the knowledge you have now about how to use it, whatever it is, and teach yourself that like in that mindset. So and then that's your audience, right? So explaining it to you 6 months ago, you a year ago. And if you're in other subjects that aren't at like tech based, that span longer time, tech changes so fast, we're thinking in 3 month 6 month terms. You can go back to yourself 5 years ago, you can go back to yourself 10 years ago with some subjects and teach yourself that you before you went and did a college course on something, or before you learned a language, before you learned a skill, whatever it is, and teach yourself that skill. And once you kind of do that process of it, that you now attracting basically people just like you, and it's really cool. So that might help to do that kind of mind exercise too, Joe, and think back to like before you even opened up the Luma app. Like, what was that experience like for you, discovering how it worked, what you had to do, those steps, figuring out what you could use it for, coming up with the idea, like all those bits and parts of it, and breaking it down into little steps and writing posts about it, and videos, like Christopher was saying.
That's great advice. Now, I wouldn't have thought of it like that, but it's definitely great advice. So thank you. I will definitely do that. Actually.
Good. Yeah. It's a funny one that I forget to myself. So that's why I love these spaces, because I'm like, oh yeah, I know this tip and I forget it for myself. So now I'm gonna think about that more. I want to say hi to KSJ, joined us up on the space. How are you doing today?
Hey guys, good to see y'all. Doing well.
Awesome. Yeah, we're wrapping up here in about 10 minutes, but we're just talking about like, how do you deal with maybe having boring content? And I don't know if it's just because if you are kind of interested in super specific niches, it just ultimately it's not going to appeal to everybody. So maybe it can be perceived as boring to some people, but to the people that you actually want following you, it's going to be interesting to them, but still making it also consumable and engaging at the same time. So do you have any thoughts on this subject at all?
Gosh, that it's a very interesting topic, to be honest. I mean, I guess the only thing that comes first to my mind is just
Apologies, mute button got hit there while bringing people up. Sorry, go back.
sorry, no, that's okay. No, I guess the first thing I think of is just oh man, if you think your content is boring and you're not getting traction, then there's a couple things you could do, I guess, is really work on targeting people that would fit your niche, that would easily relate to your topics. Um, the second thing, gosh, what was I thinking? That this is a hard topic. I'm not gonna lie, because you don't want to be mean to people and say you're boring, or things like that. But I think making sometimes, and I brought this up in the space the other day, a lot of times I scroll past stuff and things are really hard I don't know how to answer them, or even how to reply to it. The content is not easy to reply to, and I think a lot of creators could do with working on that, to make their content easy for people to reply to, right? And that's something that I think takes a lot of work. And you can look at, I studied a lot of big accounts to sort of help with that. You can see how their content is so easy to respond to, and I think that's going to help. It's not that your content's boring, maybe it's just not easy to reply to. So I'm not saying ask questions all day long, but I did ask a question today and it got pretty good response. But it was something I was curious about. I'm not asking if you like apples or bananas. Um, you know, I was just curious how many people do delete replies, because there's a big account I subscribe to. And if he doesn't get more than 5 replies, he deletes it. And we were having a conversation in the chat yesterday, and he's like, "Oh man, if I don't get this and this," and he's got like the certain amount of replies, and if I don't get them, I'm gonna, bump it out. And I'm like, okay, well, how many people do this? Because you reply to something, you never see it again, right? So like, how many people are doing that? And I totally got off traffic, but anyway, you get the point of what I'm saying is making something where it's easy to respond to. So your content may not be boring. Maybe you just need to reword your content. So anyway, I'll land there.
That's actually fantastic advice. I love little, like, that's something that it really is that secret recipe to a post being just, a rant, putting it out to the world versus something engaging that can get the conversation going. Um, Rich is really good at that. Christopher is good at that too, occasionally, when he wants to be really good at it. I'm not dissing your content. I'm just saying sometimes your content's just like, look at this, this is cool, and then sometimes you're actually engaged. He's trying to make me feel bad.
So,
He's-
like sometimes it just doesn't make sense. Like sometimes I just don't have anything to ask, and it feels like disingenuous to tack a question on at the end of it. Or, sometimes it makes total sense, right? And I do that, but like sometimes I'm just like, hey, I'm excited about this, what this thing can do. Check it out. Like it doesn't have to be like engagement farming all the time forever. I think that annoys people actually.
yeah.
Well, and your content speaks for itself. So it's not like you're just posting something empty, like you're posting, you're showing off something that you created. So you don't necessarily have to have text with that, I don't feel like, and man, with KSJ's posts, do you ever delete your posts? Like that's a genuine question that we can all relate to because we're all on X like every day. And girl, you got like 400 replies on that question. Congrats. That did really well.
Thank you. Thank you. It was super random thoughts, but hey, it was inspired by a chat conversation. Hey, and that's another topic right here, right? I mean, I think we can like say, God, I don't even know what to post about, but just like go interact with people. Go to the For You page and you're gonna think of something to post. Like, not copying their stuff, but you're gonna be inspired by somebody or something to post. Anyway,
It'd be
yeah, thank you.
it'd be the ultimate troll if you just deleted that post also.
Bro, I'd leave so many people hanging. I would never do that. Like, I'm testing my theory. Suckers. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that'd be like the most pointless mean thing to do.
I would never do it.
No
Everybody's
one
like,
would ever
"Dang it."
notice it unless they happen to go check on their. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
And then everybody would be talking about it.
She shafted us. All 400 of us. Oh my God. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, don't do it. But this has been such a great space, but we're going to be closing up here in a minute. There's still an opportunity to win at bingo. I don't know. What do I need to do here to get some wins? Maybe put on.
Mention your mom.
Yeah. Okay, if we can get political for 2 seconds, or I might find this interesting. So my mom, first thing this morning, she cornered me at the coffee maker and said that I need to donate to Bernie Sanders. So this is the new thing that you're not going to hear about on X. They are prepping Bernie to be the new grassroots alternative, we're different, so be prepared for that, people. It's happening. Oh, Slimy, go ahead.
I need one more, darn it.
One
do
more
you need?
what?
Which one do you need?
I need one more to have a bingo. One more.
Which one do you
Oh.
need?
The music one. That's all I need.
I got that. I can't help you with that. Sorry.
Yeah, someone didn't do an unrelated poll today. No one came up here and was flirting with me, which is amazing. We had 2 new people. I didn't get that.
Unrelated poll is totally unrelated. We're talking about being boring.
But it's not a poll. It's a question.
It is a poll. Like it's the dictionary definition of a poll.
Okay, is this considered a squabble breaking out?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that was trademarked like ages ago before I accidentally lost my bingo card and then everything was gone.
See,
So I quit playing a while
What you should
ago.
have done is donated to Bernie.
I donated embarrassingly. I am embarrassed to admit how much money I did donate to Bernie during both runs, and he'll never get another nickel from me after giving it all to Hillary. So, sorry. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you did do it twice. So.
It was the Bernie burn.
I know I did do it twice, but like I said, that was my fault, and I'm not going to do it again. I hate being a dumbass.
Oh, Red. So I think we just took a sudden dark turn. Also,
Does that count?
Oh wait, I could do some
I'm trying
toxic
to
positivity.
check all the boxes here.
I just found the bingo card. Apparently, I missed it. It was supposed to be space
Bingo.
related.
I got it.
Yes,
That's
it's
a
in
great
the
idea.
jumbotron.
You guys are brilliant.
All right. Gunky won it. Nice.
So Gunky, post your screenshot down below to verify. And yeah, the bingo card. You jumped in right at the end there, so I didn't want to make you feel you're missing. But I used Grok. I coded with Grok to create it, so it was a lot of fun. And yeah, so we can make it to play along with the space. And the prize is the pin post in the community on Monday. So yeah, Gunky, if you share your screenshot, we will verify that and make sure that everything's in order. So congratulations. We're gonna go ahead and close up here. I don't know, Christopher, was there any insights on that question that you found it's extra insightful that you wanted to share? The first thing you remember asking an AI LLM?
Yeah. So the poll question was, what is the first thing you remember asking an AI/LLM? And see, we got some different answers here. We got Gunky actually asked it about the problems facing a Martian colony. Slimy said, I remember asking Grok for the first time to roast me. And technically Tesla says how many dead cats would fit in the trunk of a Tesla, which there was some back and forth, but eventually it answered the question. GPT-2 reply guy said to GPT-2, does it want to destroy humanity? And it said yes, which is very on brand for GPT-2, by the way. Kinzone, how do I get rich? And another guy asks, how can I improve myself based on Alfred Adler's view? Which I don't know who that is. So that might be problematic. I have no idea.
Awesome. All right. This is a really fun space. And congratulations to Gunky. We've got the winning board down there. Thanks everyone for playing. You can join us on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And that space will doing the bingo card again. And you can win the pinned community post for Friday. So you can win Monday on Sunday space. You can win Friday on Wednesday space. 2 very prime days to get a pinned post here on X, I think, and reach out. So great prize, and this is just a lot of fun. And we will change up the board here and there, adding new little things on there, and keeping everyone entertained. Let's see, what am I forgetting?
We should add somebody brings up politics to the board.
Yeah. Yeah, NFTs too is
That should be a separate one. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is a lot of fun. Thanks everybody for joining, all the speakers, and of course the listeners. It was great meeting a couple new people. If you hopped in towards the end, you can always listen to the replay as a podcast. You can go to the website where the bingo card is, and you can find all the podcast links that you need to find wherever you prefer listening. And you can listen to some of the stuff. We gave a lot of tips for new accounts and creating engaging content and finding where you're supposed to be. Because sometimes it may not be X where you're supposed to hang out all the time if you're really trying to grow something, or whatever your specific needs are, the audience you're trying to find, if that's your goal, right? We're here to hang out. We're here to have fun. And so X is the place to be for that. Get our messages out, meet really cool, authentic, interesting people from all types of backgrounds all around the world. So that's what we're about. That's why we're here. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining. Thank you to my wonderful co-hosts, Rich Silver and Christopher Friant. If you're not following them, be sure to do that. Thank you to the wonderful speakers. We've got amazing people up on stage right now. Everyone should be following them. And the listener crowd, always A-list down in the listeners. So thanks for joining us. And I hope to see you at the next space. Have a great night. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.